Our first story is crazy. It's about the Apple Watch and how they're gonna have to pause selling it because of a patent dispute. And they're gonna have to do this very, very soon. So the information that's coming out is that Apple is going to stop selling the Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Ultra 2 in the United States. There is an ongoing patent dispute related to blood oxygen tech in the smartwatch. The pause in sales will remain starting December 24th and for offline Apple Store until further notice. No problem for other countries will hurt during the Christmas season for sure. Again, I think it's pretty insane that they have to do this. So unless something changes, it looks like December 24th we'll have to stop selling those two Apple Watches. Next up is a couple of features about Galaxy S24 and the AI that's built into the phone. Some cool things built into the camera side of things or the gallery side of things. I think it's gonna make you really want to try this on the phone. So let's check this out. This tweet comes from Ahmed, who's saying that first we got intelligent gallery. When you take a photo, the background can complement you through AI. Example, if he takes a picture in front of a tower or a building, he can complement the tower, making the picture look better and all in record time. Now, I'm a little bit, I don't fully know what he means by complementing the tower. I don't know if he means like the tower will expand. I know there's some AI stuff that already does that, like so it'll finish the picture so it looks different, or it'll make everything look better. I'm assuming it's gonna make everything in the photo just look better, which is all good to me, because if I take a photo, sometimes the photo doesn't come out perfect. This would be a great thing if it actually does. Now, the other thing that they're going to have, and this one has kind of a bit of a weird name, it's called Photo Ramster. It adjusts the image and shows more details. When you click on the image and drag it up, 3 options will appear. One will be portrait, second one will be Ramster, and then the third one will be delete. Basically, think of it as an ND filter for your camera. This feature is for raw images. It adjusts the lighting while preserving the colors, and 24 megapixels will be the default instead of 12 megapixels. So a couple of things in there. You got Photo Ramster, which will adjust the image and show more details, but then you've also got the default megapixels on the camera. It looks like it's going to bump up to 24 rather than 12. So it's going to eat up a little bit more storage space. So if you're buying this phone, you might want to buy the one with the more storage. Now, speaking of storage, what about RAM amounts and storage? What are you going to see with the S24 phone? So here we go. This is what we got going on for that information. It looks like the S24 will have by default 8 gigs of RAM, and storage will be either 128 or 256. On the S24 Plus, you'll be able to get in 12 gigs of RAM and either 256 or 512 gigs of storage. And on the S24 Ultra, you'll be able to get 12 gigs of RAM and either 512 or 1 terabyte on there. But yeah, I'll probably end up grabbing that. Unless it's free, 512 and 1 terabyte at the same price, I'll probably just end up taking the 512 gigabyte version on that S24 Ultra. That'd be plenty enough for me. Again, about the Galaxy S24 Ultra phone, this stuff just kind of trickles through at this point, especially with this being a holiday week for the most part. We're at today's the 19th, so we're just like less than a week away from Christmas, which is, for most people, at least in America, I guess, the end of the holiday season, and then you get New Year's after that. But yeah, this is I think it's a big story. Has to do with the camera, has to do with night mode photos as well. We've kind of talked about this before, about an improvement coming, but it looks like Ice Universe is locking it in. So his latest tweet says that the S24 Ultra night mode is better. The new 200 megapixel mode has the ability of AI optimization, which can identify 12 kinds of objects and optimize them for better image quality. Now, the things that I really am concerned with on Galaxy phones is when I'm taking a photo of people, the shutter is really slow. If they move just a little bit and the sun's not like extremely bright at that moment, you get some fuzziness in the photo. It's not super sharp at times like that because of the slow shutter. So if they can't fix that with just general optimization. I want to see them fix it with AI. I'm hoping at the very least with the AI algorithm and optimizations and all of that. The other thing is getting better night photos is huge. As you know, taking night photos, especially on a camera phone, a smartphone, you can get some business going on in there. And what I mean by that is, you know, you get some, it's noisy. It's not always a clear, you know, black, clean image of whatever's going on in the night. So hopefully this will clear some of that up, or all of it at this point, but remains to be seen. It sounds like it can do a lot of software optimization. And then being able to identify 12 kinds of objects and basically optimize the photo so it looks better because of being able to identify those 12 objects. I would love to know what the 12 objects are. I'm assuming like a human, a car, a building, I don't know, maybe a plane, probably not though. Like a dog, like, unless they're not counting dogs as objects, but like something like that. An absolute massive laundry list of leaks about the Galaxy S24 series. A lot of AI leaks in this for the cameras and features overall. Some of the stuff we've heard, some stuff goes further into detail, and some stuff is exclusive to what we're hearing today. So this probably be the first time you've heard a few of these things. So without further ado, let's get to this laundry list of stuff. It's honestly, if you're not excited and looking forward to this, you're insane. So let's get to it. This is coming from Bennett. Bennett's One UI 6.1 features for the S24 series. S24 series will be so powerful, offering many new AI features, and some are exclusive. Some of these AI features include AI processing for videos. This processing will improve low light performance, reduce graininess, improve stability, exposure, and more. Now this sounds like boosted video for the Pixel phones, which I should have a video out on this soon. But they just released this feature recently, and it looks like it's also coming to the Galaxy S24 for better low light performance in video, better quality of video, and stabilization. Erase objects from videos. This is actually really cool. By simply selecting an object or subject in a video, AI will then process an entire video to erase the selected subject as best as possible. Now, that is just, it's crazy. You can do it with photos, but let's see it do it with a video. I'm curious to see how it does it with that, but that's, again, just amazing stuff that is coming out of this to be able to erase someone from a video. Expand the borders of photos. Using AI, the device will be able to take an existing photo and recreate more of it. Now, Pixel can do this as well, so it seems like Galaxy's getting a lot of the Pixel features, but I'm all for that. Pixel has some really cool exclusive features currently. Exclusive on-device AI chatbot. This chatbot will be able to do simple tasks such as simple questions, equations, etc. Not certain as to if it will be available at launch, but it looks like we're getting an AI chatbot that we can ask questions to and get answers. We'll see how that one rolls out. Take important information from calls. After a call, AI will process everything mentioned and will recommend certain actions, such as putting things on your calendar, to-do list, or something else that was mentioned in a call. Come on, guys. This is next gen stuff. I can't wait for this stuff. Organize messy notes and chunks of text in Samsung Notes by a simple press of a button. Messy notes and chunks of text into organized notes with bullet points and more formal formatting. I love that because I'm not the best at keeping notes, but the only problem is I don't really use Samsung Notes. I use Google Keep. AI generated wallpapers. Generative AI wallpapers have been borrowed from Google and redesigned in Samsung's UI, although lacking Samsung's animations, it is still a very good creator. So you'll be able to create your own generated wallpapers with AI. Live translate during calls. Translate calls in real time to soften to strong language barrier between people of other languages. This is going to be great to use. Other features, improvements, weather and portrait effects for lock screen and home screen. Express yourself and better and have a more stylish lock home screen. I'm all for that. Enhanced battery protection feature allows for multiple stages of protection that balance the sacrifice of battery and convenience over varying degrees of protection. I believe this will go down to as low as 80% and then all the way up, and then 5% increments all the way up to 95% to protect your battery. And more to see at a Galaxy Impact. Are you ready to experience this amazing, guys? Again, this is the kind of stuff we're going to be getting very, very shortly, and I love technology. I mean, the reason I tend to go back to Samsung is the software, and this is just cool software stuff. I love it. How couldn't you? You know, even if they don't change the phone all that much physically, change it software-wise. Give us some new features, and they're doing it this year. So, but today was an amazing day for information about the Galaxy S24, 24 Plus, and 24 Ultra. Official stuff has come out, and we learned a little bit more about that official information. I wanted to roll through it. I can't show you official screenshots because I'll probably get copyright strikes, so I'm kind of just going to talk it over with you guys and go from there. So, first of all, S24 Ultra is going to be 6.8 inches, which we knew, 2600 nits of brightness, and come in 4 colors. Looks like gray, black, blue, and green. If I can see those colors, a little yellowish color, I guess. It will have a 6.8 inch 2K plus display. It'll have 200 megapixel main camera, up to 8K video, 100x space zoom. So if you were curious if we're going to get 50x zoom or 100 on this one, it will be 100x space zoom. You can do quad telephoto, 2x, 3x, 5x, and 10x on there. 12 gigs of RAM. Storage size is 256 and 512. It might not get a 1 terabyte version on the S24 Ultra this year, but if you do it, it probably will be Samsung only. It won't be at the carrier level. Next up, we've got the charging, 0 to 65% in 30 minutes. So it'll probably still just be the 45-watt charging on there. 5,000 milliamp battery made of titanium, and the IP68 dust and water resistance, built-in S Pen. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, dynamic lock screen, smart keyboard, security and privacy protected by Knox. S24 Plus will have a 6.7 inch 2K plus resolution display, 2600 nits of brightness. All the phones actually have 2600 nits of brightness if you get the 24 Ultra, 24 Plus, or the regular 24. It'll have a 50 megapixel main, up to 8K video, 30x space zoom. That'll be the max. So the max you'll be able to zoom in will be 30x on this 24 Plus. For telephoto, it's dual. You get 2x and 3x. 12 gigs of RAM, which is the same as the 24 Ultra. Same storage as well, 256 or 512. Same charging, 0 to 65% in 30 minutes. Capacity will be 4,900 milliamps for the battery. Armor aluminum 2.0 body, and IP68 dust and water resistance. Finally, and it comes in black, looks like yellow, kind of a blue and gray. It's kind of hard to see the colors on there. I know they're kind of out there, and the opening, and I've spoken about them too. I'm just looking at these little circle dots to see what the colors are. S24, 6.2 inch full HD plus resolution, again 2600 nits of brightness, 50 megapixel camera, same as the 24 Plus, up to 8K video, 30x space zoom, again same as the 24 Plus, dual telephoto, 2x and 3x, which would be the same as the 24 Plus. 8 gigs of RAM it's going to max out at, so you won't get 12 gigs of RAM. 128 or 256 gigs of storage. Charging will be a little bit slower as well, so you go 0 to 50% in 30 minutes. Battery capacity at 4,000 milliamps. Armor aluminum 2.0, same as the 24 Plus, and same water resistance. All of them, like I said, at least in America, have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And yeah, this stuff's official, guys. This is like official docs and everything going out for it. There was also a bit of information that, like a official document that went out showing that the launch date would be on the 18th in like Europe because of the time change. Or one of those countries, because I know that things, but it will still be in the 17th in America. So you're looking at January 17th for the actual launch of the Samsung Galaxy phones. Definitely getting the Ultra for sure. Gonna get it in, if there's a storage upgrade, I get it in 512. If there's not, I'll probably just grab the 256. And it's gonna have 12 gigs of RAM. I don't have to worry about it having 8 gigs of RAM on that, the 24 Ultra. Obviously the Exynos version, you might get that in some versions of the phone, have it be the 24 Plus or just the 24. But in America, everybody will get the 8 Gen 3, and a lot of other places you'll still get the 8 Gen 3. So stuff's official though, guys. We're there, guys. And it's just look, less than a month away. A couple of cool stories today. The first one is actually really interesting. So as you know, there is a quick file sharing service that Google has built into it called Nearby Share, and then Samsung uses something called Quick Share. and it works the same way basically. You can send files to each other, but Quick Share only works on Samsung to Samsung, and then Nearby Share basically works on every phone that runs Android. Well, it's weird because Google and Samsung are going to be merging that, and Nearby Share, which is on all the Android phones, is now going to be called Quick Share, which is kind of weird. I think it goes to show that Samsung and Google really have a relationship that is going to really, it's merged before, but it's really going to merge. Like some of the features that are coming out on the new Galaxy S24 phones, a lot of that is already on the Pixel phones. It's named a little bit differently, most likely, but it's still the same stuff. So it looks like they're going to do even more, and there's probably more of the stuff that's going to happen with that. Now, speaking of those exclusive features, I had a question from somebody today saying, hey, should I upgrade from the S23 Ultra to the S24 Ultra? And I mentioned in that video that there's a good chance that a lot of those features will probably carry over from the 24 Ultra to the 23 Ultra in terms of a software update, like a month or two, or maybe even weeks later. Well, we have some information of a few features that probably won't trickle down to the S23 Ultra, and they'll be S24 series exclusive. So let's go through those. So one of them is and I've spoken about these features, but again, these are going to be exclusive, it looks like, and there's going to be more as well. So on-device AI-based nighttime video recording enhancement will enhance low light performance, reduce grain, increase recording to FPS, and more. So it sounds like, at least from this leaker, that's going to be an exclusive feature. That's huge, guys. That's to have the ability to improve your low light video through AI and it being an exclusive feature for the S24 phones. That's a big get, especially over the S23. The next one is AI object image remover for video will allow erasing of subjects and videos. Again, that's a really cool one. I'm recording a video. I want to delete an object, I guess, and or a person of some sort in there. I'm able to. That is awesome. I love that. Again, being an exclusive S24 series feature is a big get again. Is it something the S23 could probably handle? Probably, but I guess they're not going to push it down. The last one, at least for now, until we hear more, is that the AI chatbot that will complete basic tasks may someday serve day-to-day tasks easier and be more intuitive. So the chatbot sounds like it's also going to be an exclusive feature to the S24 series. So if you're contemplating, should I upgrade from the S23 to the S24 series? You might want to. These are supposedly, and they could change, but as of right now, these are 3 exclusive features that will head and stay at the S24 level series and not trickle down. And there's supposed to be more as well. So we'll keep our eye on this one. What do you guys? This video is all about the Galaxy S24 Ultra. If there's going to be a 1 terabyte version, and based off some of the information we spoke about the other day, like official specs, it looks like there might not be a 1 terabyte version, at least in the United States anyway, maybe other parts of the world. But as of right now, it doesn't look like there's going to be, which kind of surprises me. I don't know why they wouldn't have it. Maybe they just don't sell enough of them and they're like, you know what, we don't need it. We're not going to do it. We're going to have it be an international only thing. But they've had it the last year, I want to say 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, but they've had it. And especially with 8K video getting better and, you have the option of using it, and that uses up a ton of storage, and the option and the quality of megapixels going higher on the phone, 200 megapixels, and being able to take photos, that you need the storage. It goes really quickly, and people that don't want to use cloud storage or backing it up that way and they just kind of keep it on their phone, they're going to want 1 terabyte. Or maybe they just want 1 terabyte for whatever, for storing all their games and everything else, their videos, everything that they do on there. You need a lot of storage. So it's going to be a necessity as time continually goes on, because as you know, like I said, video and photo bit rates get higher and resolutions get higher, and people save photos at higher resolutions. And there's rumors that the S24 Ultra phone's gonna take photos by default at 24 megapixels, which is double what it is currently right now, which is usually 12 megapixels. So that takes up more storage. So you need it. And I mean, is it a death sentence that it won't have it? No, because I think the majority of people don't buy the 1 terabyte storage, but there is still people that do buy it, especially when you're comparing the iPhone, 15 Pro Maxes and 14 Pro Maxes that have 1 terabyte storage versions. And then you look at the S24 Ultra, which is its competitor phone, and it doesn't have it. That can be a turnoff to some people. Now, is this definitely not going to happen? I don't think they'll have it at the carrier level, potentially. It doesn't look like, but they still might have it. And I said this in the other video, they might have it at the Samsung, but there's rumors that it's not going to happen at all. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on this one. But as of right now, don't get your hopes up, but keep a glimmer of hope at the same time so that, it might happen. We might still get the 1 terabyte, but there's still a chance we might not. Really more of a question in a way, or like a thought-provoking type thing. And that is having to do with the Galaxy S24 phones coming out next month and pre-order gifts. Do they really entice you and make you want to buy the phone? Or is it kind of like, I'll still buy the phone regardless? And there's rumors potentially that obviously they're going to give free gifts, or at least free money, I should say. But there's rumors they might give free gifts this time, and that being either Galaxy Buds 2 Pro or a Galaxy Watch 6. And then also potentially a wireless charger. Now, it's going to be different all throughout the world. I know some places in the world will give you like a 32-inch Samsung TV with like this or that. And then some other places will give you just a watch or just headphones. Or in America, a lot of time we just get credits, and we can use those credits on pretty much anything from tablets to watches to buds to cases to anything else. I still think America will probably just end up getting the credits like we usually do. But I wanted to think about that for a second. It's like, me personally, I'll buy the phone because I'm a YouTuber, but does it entice me and really push me over the edge in terms of buying an upgrade for my phone? And I would have to say, yes, it does. When you add in all that stuff of getting a new phone with all the new features and things that it has and improvements on the phone, and then you also throw in, a smartwatch and or some new buds that maybe you were thinking about buying, especially when these things cost like $200, $300, $400, depending upon what you're getting, or you can get them for much cheaper just by pre-ordering the phone. That's when the stuff gets freaking amazing and really kicks you over the edge, I think, for me anyway. Now, does it do that for most people? I'd have to say probably, yeah. I mean, I have people in my life, like, if I'm like, yeah, the new phone's cool, and then I'll throw in like, oh, and you also get free buds and a case or whatever, free buds and a charger, or free buds and a watch. That totally pushes them over the edge. So I would say, yes, it is a really good marketing way to get people, to entice them to buy the phone and go to that next level and grab it, even though the phone might be like an amazing thing, especially for the phone they're already coming from, or different. If they're coming from iPhone to Android, that's a nice little change, because there's a lot of software features that Samsung has that Apple doesn't, and a lot of customization things. So like, you have all that stuff, but then when you add on the extra free gifts, it really, I feel like, entices people. But what about you guys? Do you think it entices you enough to push you over the edge, or would you still buy the phone regardless, even if it didn't give you any free gifts? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Happy Christmas Eve. We'll see you tomorrow during Christmas and down the road. Peace.